Welcome back to another episode of the Budget Overland Podcast. I'm your host, Benji, and tonight is kind of fun, or today, whatever. It's your Thursday. It's our Wednesday evening. Thanks to this group of men that showed up because I kind of butchered the audio from the previous recording that was supposed to air today. However, we are salvaging that, and we're having a good time. We're going to call this one, I don't know if we're going to call it Roundtable anymore, or Bonfire Discussions, or just, I don't know. I have no idea what to call it. So with me in studio, I've got Justin Williams. We got Dalton. We got Dick Chavez. How can I screw that up anymore? Chavez. My bad, man. You'll have to remind me again. And we got Jonathan Hines down there. Appreciate you fellers for hopping on, and let's just have a good conversation. Anybody want to say anything real quick?
Yeah, I'll start it off, Benji. Hey,
Sure.
We appreciate what you do, man. You know, you put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's something that, you know, we all follow, we all pay attention to, and it's appreciappreciated. It is.
Thanks,
you run
man.
a tight ship and a great show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Don't hear a lot of feedback all the time. I appreciate I appreciate it. I'm going to cry, and we'll just end it right now on a high note. Nah, but for real. So we got Justin and Jonathan. You guys are both down south in Louisiana.
Yep.
And you guys go way back, according to Justin.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Are you guys...
I don't want to show my age.
No, you're good. Are you guys in like a club, or you guys just go wheeling together, or how's that work down there in the south for you? Because Mike's relatively close to you, isn't he? He's in Alabama. I mean, is there like some southern organization that you guys do like monthly meetups or anything like that?
Yeah, there's not really any dedicated groups down here as far as overlanding. You know, it's Satan's armpit. It's in the middle of the heat. It's dead flat. You know, we got to drive 4 or 5 hours to get anywhere of any elevation. My house is at 21 feet elevation where I'm sitting right now, to put that in perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And then Dalton, you are from Arkansas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, we all know Arkansas is fun. Are there any organizations or clubs that you belong to that you'd like to shout out?
Not really. I'm kind of new in all this, so it's just me and I guess Budget Overland is all I've been following and getting to know.
Yeah, dude, we'll claim you. Anybody, like I was going to tell everybody, whenever you sign up for Rito, if you're not involved with the club, just put Budget Overland in there. That's pretty cool. We all be ripping. And then we've got Dick. How are you, man?
Good.
We just discussed this off air, but you're from Illinois, Central Illinois.
Yeah.
Are there any clubs, organizations that you are involved with as far as overlanding goes?
I don't know. It's just a Facebook group. There's
Cool.
a group on Facebook called Illinois Overlanders, and there's some people from Missouri and Michigan and stuff that are sort of come in there just to sort of get an idea of what's around here. There's not much around here, so
Yeah, you got to do something where you can, where you're at, right?
yep.
So let's kind of start this off kind of randomly. Some people already know Justin. He's an admin of Budget Overland, and he's been on, I don't know what episode that was. It was probably back in episode 14 of season 3, I believe. Something like that. We can go look it up real quick, but I'll put that in the show notes. But we're kind of familiar with Justin. We're familiar with myself. But if we could just kind of go around the room just a little bit, give us a brief description. We'll start with Justin. Kind of how long you've been overlanding, how you got started, what's your vehicle, and accessories. We'll call trailers accessories. And then just kind of go over your, not like through your build, but just kind of tell us what you're repping, what you've got, what's working for you, and how long you've kind of been doing it.
Yeah, I want to say it was only a few months back we did that other episode, but I started most of my stuff during COVID. Started looking into it and went the whole budget route. Bought a little cheap rooftop tent and just started getting out there. Linked up with Jonathan, everybody at Rendezvous. Met a bunch of cool people at Rendezvous, and ended up meeting a bunch of people at Moore in Missouri. I got a 2010 Tacoma with a body armor rooftop tent that I've been using ever since I started, and I just picked up what we were discussing in the last video, or the last podcast. I just picked up my 5x10 hiker trailer 2 Fridays ago. Already got 3 nights in.
Very nice, and I'm excited to see that thing too in action. And I'm excited for you. I think it's a killer design. I think everything about it's very practical, and you were very hands-on too with the decisions of that, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool process, man. I actually took I guess, did my little build, put together my little quote while I was actually on the grounds at Moore, and just walked around with them. And was like, yeah, I think I want this, and then you give them your little build sheet, and they actually give you like a 2-week grace period to let you think about what you have to go over your
That's
build
cool.
before you lock it in, before they do like any change order costs where they have to order anything. And I have one little electrical issue that when I picked it up, but I was able to redo the plug, and everything's been going great. I can tell you that air conditioner is a game changer in South
So
Louisiana.
I know for you, South Louisiana, I was complaining a couple months ago about going to Oklahoma, and it was hotter than heck, and the lakes were hot. You couldn't escape the heat. But yeah, man, AC is the diesel heaters of winter for sure. And once you have one, I guess you'll never go back. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on to Dalton. Dalton, what did you repping, and how long have you been doing this overlanding thing?
I got into it about the beginning of this year through a friend. He kind of explained to me what it was. It was more of extreme camping and different destinations. And ever since then, it just kind of got more and more passionate with it. Started following Budget Overland, and that just kind of threw a giant ball in the hat. And ever since then, I've just been doing what I can to slowly get into where I'm more comfortable overlanding.
Sweet. What's your rig?
I drive a 1995 Jeep Cherokee.
Nice.
I say
So
not
that's an
much.
XJ, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, those are sick.
Yeah, I say I picked it up for fairly cheap. It had its fair amount of issues. It's a older vehicle, so
Yeah, for sure.
just
No, mine's 23 years old. I get you.
yeah. As I've been fixing it up, all that's happened to it since I first got it. So me and my friend were driving it, and the motor went out on it. So this
Oh,
past year, so I bought it in I think January of this year, and knew it needed some work, and I knew what I planned on doing was just go to overlanding. So I just been
yeah.
rebuilding it. We put a new motor, whole new front end kit, 3-inch lift, tires. Just got done putting a clutch system in it, brand new clutch and all that. And finally got done with my bed system in the rear of it and the storage.
Nice. So you sleep in the rig, right?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. I love that. If I wasn't a giant, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, so I'm short. So I'm short slash tall. I'm 5'10", so it's not the roomiest thing, but it'll make do for now until I can get a rooftop tent and get some more funding for it.
Cool, man. Well, let's move on to Mr. Dick Chavez. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for screwing up your name.
I'll take it.
All right. So tell us about your vehicle of choice, how long you've been doing this thing, and oh yeah, I guess that's that.
So I got two vehicles technically, because I really have started out doing this at least 15 years ago on motorcycles. So
Nice.
right now I've got a 2013 Yamaha Super Tenere, which is basically an adventure bike. But then my truck or my car, my vehicle, is a 2007 Jeep Commander. It's a Overland edition, but that's, that wasn't by choice. It just kind of worked out that way.
But it says Overland on it, right? It's got a
Yeah.
badge. So my
Yeah.
wife's got a Cherokee, and it's the Overland edition.
Yeah. Yep.
And I always give her crap about it because it's just a Cherokee, but it's
Right.
got Overland on the emblem and the seats. Anyway, I didn't mean to hijack you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, the Overland package is like, it seems like with Jeeps, it's kind of like all the creature comforts, and it's also got like the best four-wheel drive system that comes in whatever that chassis is. It's kind of like the top of the line, blah, blah, blah. So.
Very cool. And you've been doing that for over 15 or so years.
Yeah, by vehicle, like a car or truck type of thing, really only probably 2 years now, pretty much since
Cool.
COVID. But really, been camping and exploring
What's up,
on
guys?
motorcycles and taking trips on motorcycles for a long
That's
time.
really cool. That's really cool, man. All right, Jonathan. How long have you been doing this thing, man? What are you driving?
I started at the end of like 2019.
Okay.
And, you know, I've been through a lot of vehicles. I had a really bad habit at one point. You know, I started out with a 2018 JL. Found a deal on my first rooftop tent, which was a Yakima Skyrise. Had to drive 8 hours to pick it up for the deal, but, you know, my wife calls me an idiot. My kids fell in love with it. So,
Nice.
you know, I just started moving in through that. I switched to a 2021 Trail Boss. And then 5,300 miles, the lifters went out. And so now I've got this 2020 Tundra SR5. You know, nothing special, but, you know, I put OVS Nomadic 4 last year when we were at Rito. But I've put a lot of work and effort into it. You know, I've finally dialed in my rack system. Had to switch to the Alpha, the Tough Stuff Alpha, the 270 awning. They were running a smoking deal on that over Black Friday. But I've got it pretty dialed in, man. I've gone through all my suspensions, you know, different setups and stuff at the right place at the right time. But and the other, I mean, you can ask, you know, Justin can attest to how cheap I am and how I'm able to find. Yeah, it's just something. I've got a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So my 7-year-old Harrison goes with me as much as he can.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to taking my middle child, which frightens me, but I'm looking forward to bringing him out there as well. So
Be
it's
brave.
really
Take
about-
the little one.
Oh, he's mean. He's mean. He's 4 years old. He's 4 foot tall and 68 pounds. So put that in
Wow.
perspective. He's a mess, but I love him.
Wow.
But anyways, you know, I got into this based off of the experiences I was looking forward to. You know, disconnecting my kids through COVID was a big part of it, and not the addiction to technology. So
Yeah.
you know, it's allowed their minds to run wild. It's gotten me into some pretty killer places too.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man, is getting out there and just having fun. But
That's it.
there's nothing wrong with being comfortable too, but that's where the whole you gotta budget it and be wise, and you can't just go balls to the walls and spend a bunch of money on stupid stuff you don't even need.
Like me.
No, dude, you needed that. Like, you needed that. You methodically planned it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to benefit you well. So we kind of talked about this earlier. Rendezvous in the Ozarks, but before we get to that, Big Iron Overland Rally is coming up at the end of this month, September 29th, 30th. Who is going to that from here?
I'll be there.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hey, don't we what we talk about Friday at 5:30, I think.
Yeah, Friday at 5:30 at Ed Geeson. They've got the Christian Off-Road Association or Off-Roaders, something like that. Core, something like that. They're going to have it on their – they've got a flag. They're going to put it on their pole. You guys can do go ahead, Justin. You guys are going to do the Budget Overland meetup, right?
Oh, yeah. Something, just a little get-together. Trying, I think off the Budget Overland page, I think there's, like 9 of us so far, I think.
We should now that the cat's out of the bag, we should probably I'll make a flyer for it, and we'll put it down there. I'll tag you, and then if people want to, they can hit you up, I guess, because I guess they're doing a lot more bands this year, a lot more classes, and I heard that there's like a scenic byway or something that's mapped out for people to actually go out and drive this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more this year than last year. If I can still swing it, I'll go, but like for right now, it's just out of the cards for me. But I don't know. I think it looks fun this year.
Yeah, I know it's definitely supposed to be a lot cooler from the last time they had it. It's good that it's good that they listen to stuff like that. You know, I mean, hey, a lot of people. I know there was a lot of people that said how miserably hot it was. They said it was a great event. It was just unbearable, you know.
Unbearable. I mean, it was probably 90 degrees plus humidity, and there was no way to escape it. There was like 2 little trees in a pavilion.
Yeah.
It's like, so.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. The next big event is Rendezvous in the Ozarks. Who is going to that?
I am.
I know me and Jonathan
going?
are.
You boys are going? Are you going to make the trip, Dick?
Nope.
Ooh, that's a
Okay.
long way from Illinois.
That is a long way.
It's
That is a long way.
one of the only ones on my radar though. So
It's
Oh,
really fun.
it's a great time. There's I guarantee you, I have probably 20 to 25 people that I've gained friends just from being there.
Yeah.
And it was funny last year. I was literally walking around the they got those new ones, the electric rooftop tents. Is it Barad? James
Oh,
Barad?
no kidding.
And I'm literally standing there, and I hear this guy talking, and I'm like, man, I swear I know that guy. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, you know what? That's got to be him. I was like, Paul, man, when I'm telling you his neck snapped around so fast, like who in Arkansas is going to be calling my name, you know? And sure enough, it was the guy. He lives probably 20, 30 minutes from us. I didn't even know he was in the Overland.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
That's good. Are you talking about it was sitting on like a Jeep or something and it just electrically lifted?
Yeah.
Or
That's
was-
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I looked at those, man. They were pricey, but I mean, if you're an older person or something, you can't maneuver all that. I don't know. They're
Man,
freaking
the only thing I couldn't get over was just the noise.
yeah. The dude was proud of it. I mean, that thing was old. That was an
Yeah.
older tent. I mean, he was proud of it. So what's your guys' collectively? You guys can just blurt it out. What's kind of your favorite things to do at Rito?
I mean, I had fun teaching the ham radio class, but I was kind of locked in. You know, I did one on I think I did one on Friday evening. I did one on Saturday. I mean, it was just, you know, I was kind of locked in. I couldn't really go out and do any trail rides. I couldn't really, because I had to be back for it, you know. So I didn't teach any last year, and I think I don't think I'm gonna do any this year.
Yeah, it takes a toll on a guy that especially wants to just take a little break, you know, and take a little vacation. Don't want to go to work.
I tell you what was awesome though. That was doing the judging with Tate with Overland
That was
Spices.
cool. Yeah, you got like 5-course meals, man.
Oh man, that was awesome. The trying to remember. I want to say maybe it was I don't remember if it was No Barrier Adventures, but I think it may have been them.
Were
Man,
they there last year? Somebody cooked something smoking. She got first place in
I
something.
think that was No Barrier Adventures.
Okay.
I think that
I'll
was
have to
them.
ask
Man, it was awesome. I hate
Really?
Brussels sprouts. I can't stand them. When I went back for second and thirds, and I think everybody was going to fight over them if there wasn't enough. They were awesome.
We'll have to reach
I
out
was
and ask
surprised.
them. I remember my dessert. I think I took second place. Maybe it was overall second place.
You
Not
took
just
overall
dessert.
second place, but didn't you get something else too?
I took first in dessert. Pretty sure it was dessert. But
Yeah.
that was fun.
That
But
was
what's
that,
shocking.
That was that funnel cake, huh?
Yeah, funnel cake, camp style funnel cake, which was fun. But what's crazy is not that many people signed up to do that. Man, I got over like $250, $300 worth of gifts and stuff. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
you racked up.
And then, yeah, it's a good time.
I tell you what was really cool was the drop off via drone.
No bonus points.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So this year we're going to do Budget Overland meetup, kind of like we did last year. But this one's going to be Friday the 13th at 7 at night. You guys can bring your own beverages or whatever and probably hang out till we get kicked out, but probably till about 9 realistically. But I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways, and the first company I heard back for giveaways was Morphlate. And he's going to give away 4 things. That's all I'm going to say right now. So that's really cool. I'm reaching out to other companies. So whenever you guys show up, I'm going to give you a ticket, and then we're going to do kind of a drawing. We might do a shenanigans episode. I don't think we'll do a full-length episode, but we might do a shenanigans episode. Just kind of not sit around in a circle. I'm not an entertainer like that, but just like go up to people and meet each other, shake hands, have a drink together, just communicate, like just in person instead of on a keyboard or something. So I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah,
but
that was pretty cool
Friday the
last
13th.
year. We're actually getting to
fun.
put oh man, I forget that. Oh man, what is He drives that tan Suburban. Drawing a blank. Is it Ed? It's not Ed, huh? Joe.
No.
Joe Geiger.
Joe Geiger.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It was kind of cool putting. You see, you talk to him all the time on Facebook and on the page and everything, and it's just kind of cool putting a face to a name. You know, like you said, not on a keyboard.
For sure. Yep. So let's shift gears here a little bit and kind of go around and kind of talk about kind of what your perception of going into this whole overland thing is at the beginning and to where you're at now. I know we're all going to have different answers because Dalton just started this year. Dick's been riding bikes for 15 years, and now he's kind of been in a car for 2 years. Jonathan since 19, and then Justin here and there. Now you just got your camper. So we're all going to be different and kind of just I don't know about your expectations maybe versus reality. You know, like going into it, it's kind of like, hey, I need all this crap or I need this, and then you're like kind of to the realization that you don't need that stuff. So who wants to kick this one off? If that makes any sense. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I overpacked, dude. I overpacked. I mean, hell, I worked a week on, a week off on the river, and I've been doing that for almost 5.5 years, and I still overpack. But I mean, it's just every trip. You know, if I don't use something, it's got to stay at home. Yeah. You know, I mean, if I can understand if there's a possibility, but I mean, you don't need every little gadget that you see on Instagram, YouTube. I mean, you can literally grab a tent, grab a sleeping bag, use a hoodie for a pillow, and just go find a spot.
Even going down to like your food of choice and how you're cooking it and how you're bringing it, you know, like in a fridge or a cooler or whatever. Like, has anything like that ever stood out to you? Be like, you know what, that was kind of something I wish I would have pulled the trigger on sooner, or anything like that.
Jonathan and his vacuum sealed food. He did a burn ends. He did egg bites. His egg bite recipe is now a staple for camp breakfast. All you need is the jet boil while you're boiling your water.
Man, I got a new one.
While you're boiling the water for your coffee, you're heating up your breakfast. Literally your jet boil and some water, and that's it.
So that was one thing. So sometimes they call me the chuck wagon. Actually, a lot of times they call me the chuck wagon, okay? And that's all right. You know, I've got every cooking utensil. I do overpack. I'm not going to lie. I enjoy cooking when I'm out there. I enjoy eating good. I enjoy everyone just having a good time. You know, when I'm with a group out there, I'll cook. I just got back last month. I did 9 days out west through New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado. And, I cooked for 3 weeks leading up to it. Whether it was just smoking meats, you know, the breakfast I'm talking about, Justin, now, it's called a breakfast fatty. It's a bacon weave with a pound of sausage, scrambled eggs in the middle with cheese and green onions onions and bell peppers. You roll it up tight and smoke it. Then all you do is I vacuum seal it, freeze it. So there I don't need ice. It keeps my freezer cooled. All right. All I have to do is boil water, get it to temp, slice it, put it in a tortilla.
Yeah, you had the fact at the word bacon.
So do you prep, like meal prep 90% of your stuff, or would you say even like 100% of it? All your meals, everything?
All my proteins are prepped. Every single one of my proteins are prepped. I smoke a lot of meat on the. I got a big green egg and a couple other nice units out back. But that's one thing I found is, you know, utilizing the space that you have. You can buy. I mean, I've done it with a $100 fridge that I found off of Facebook. You know, where I've packed enough food for 3 weeks. Stuff that, I mean, you don't even get close to eating through. You know, but it's all your proteins. You know, and then you go into canned goods and stuff like that for your sides. I mean, that's just something that I've enjoyed. So I'm not traditionally cooking over a fire. All I'm doing is heating what I've already made.
So let's talk about saving your time. You know, because we're all about efficiency and want to save time. You know, so like if you're setting up camp's done, you're doing dinner. How long does that take you? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
I'd say about 10 minutes.
Nice.
But it's not it's not a hydrated meal. You know,
Sure.
you're
No,
looking at baby back ribs, smoked chicken thighs,
good stuff.
all that stuff. Yeah, burn ends, like Justin said. But it's the same for breakfast. But you're eliminating waste too. So that's one of my big things is the sustainability aspect of it. We all leave no trace, which is very important. We want to leave it better than we found it. But when I like to eat, man. I'm not going to lie. I like to eat and drink. But if I can eat the way that I enjoy, with zero waste, other than a single piece of plastic that I can carry out of there, it's the easiest thing I've done.
That's really cool, man. Any brands or particulars for your shrink wrap or any of that? Anything that you go to? Just Amazon.
No, I bought a vacuum sealer off of Amazon during Prime Day like 4 years ago for $29, and that thing's been chugging along ever since.
Yeah,
awesome, man.
I think weren't we on a trail together when I ordered mine, Jonathan? I think I ordered mine while we were on that.
You got one too?
That Rito trip. I literally ordered it in the vacuum seal bags. I was like, "Yep, this is it. I'm done." He's got an awesome recipe for a super easy lunch deal. I mean, you pull over on the side of the road, you sprinkle the little ham, okra, ranch mixture that he had in a little carb tortilla, and I think we were done with lunch in like 8 minutes. No trash, no nothing. 8 minutes, we were done.
Nice, very efficient, and good. I'm sure.
Yep.
All right, so Dalton and Dick, what's your go-to meals for camping? Do you guys enjoy cooking, or do you just rather just get it in your belly and be done?
We definitely want good food. We try to cook good food, and kind of like how Jonathan is saying, it's I would say good meals and coffee are two things that we definitely overpack and bring stuff for, because they're just things that are not, there's no exception to it. We do it a little bit different, but we do prep a lot of our meats, boil chicken beforehand, like hamburger meat, make like taco meat, stuff like that, make all that stuff beforehand. And I think the biggest thing as far as cooking takes up more room, but in my opinion was a game changer, is like a griddle. We ended up getting one of the Aldi griddles. It's like a 17-inch griddle. It was like $50 or something. It hooks up the propane. But at first I was really not sold on it compared to like a regular camp grill. But it's so easy to clean up afterwards and put away, packs away perfectly. And you can cook so much on it that, I really couldn't go back.
I'm sure where everybody went.
Nope, we just lost somebody. Benji.
We just lost Benji, and it's still recording.
Oh, that's fun.
That escalated quickly. Can't hear you, Justin.
I said it's a mutiny. We've lost the host. He has been overthrown.
This is when it gets interesting, right? No moderator.
Yeah.
All right, what are we really eating out there?
The cat's away, the mice will play. We have free reign now, fellas. He's probably listening to the back. He's probably listening in the background. He's listening in the background right now, screaming, "No!"
Do any of you guys use a griddle also, or?
Yeah, so I've used the griddle for years. The 17-inch Blackstone. I found it like before the prices hiked up. But the one thing that I've found is that if I pre-cook my proteins here and, like I said, vacuum seal them, then my only frustration with the griddle was the scraper at the end of it. And how do you get rid of that grease that could potentially attract an animal?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the bear that we had in Arkansas that we woke up to a nice pile of scat and we didn't even hear anything because we were both
that's the one.
exhausted?
I'm not worried about a trash panda, bro. But you get a bear in the mix, and it really that's my only concern with the griddle. They're extremely versatile, easy to cook on.
Yeah, we're not really near bears at all. But if you got out west or far enough north, definitely be some concern with that. But I mean, it was pretty easy to clean up. I felt like in comparison to the camp grill, we did the just regular camp stove, and then I thought I was going to be smart and budget, and I was going to put a griddle on the camp stove. That was a horrible choice. Made a huge mess. Super hard to clean. So
you're right. I did buy one of those also, one of the stainless steel ones.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere for the grease to go except into the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the griddle changed all that. It was pretty easy to clean up, and we just cleaned it up with water afterwards. And see, first off, we usually base camp, so everything pretty much stays, doesn't have to get packed up as much.
Hey, Benji's back. All right, we need to behave now.
Did you hold down the fort?
Oh, yeah, it was only a mutiny for a little while. It's all
Cool. I have no idea what happened. So I don't need to be caught up on anything. Just carry on.
Yeah, you'll just be surprised. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. We were just talking about griddles still.
Sweet. Dalton, did you
I thought we
share
were
your
talking about
favorite meal,
girdles.
your camp meal?
I really haven't had a favorite yet. I say I just started this year. I've only been a handful of times.
What's your go-to? Your buddies call you up. You want to go camping. What's your go-to?
Probably red beans and rice with sausage.
No kidding. Right,
That is
steak and taters kind of guy.
no, that is my all-time go-to. It's easy to make. It's a handful of ingredients I can get from the store. Takes 20, 30 minutes to make, and I just love it as much as I can eat it.
Man.
So, this is weird for me.
Can
I'm
you
going
guys
to just
see-
ask you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an easy one. It is a fan
What?
favorite too. Benji, or do you see that we are unable to subscribe to the participant?
I see Benji, but he's really, really small.
Me
Are
too.
you serious?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear
Yes.
You just can't
I
see
can.
me.
Everything's fine for me.
This is weird. I tried to salvage one episode, and now we're butchering another one. All right. Might have to just take a couple weeks off, guys.
you. Nah, it's all good.
What do you guys like to cook on? I know this conversation's all over the place, but what do you guys cook on? Campfires, griddles, what? Microwaves?
Man, I like my little, it's an Otzi grill, O-T-Z-I. It's not exactly budget, but it's literally, I mean,
Collapsible, put together kind of fire pit.
collapsible. When I'm telling you, this thing collapses into less than an inch. This thing is phenomenal. And I'll tell you what's even better than that, and that's their customer service. Mine kind of warped from the heat, and I just kind of reached out to them like, hey, how do I rebend this and get it back into spec? They literally responded immediately and was like, hey, which one do you have? And I told them which one I had, told them what my order number was, and the next message I had back from them was, hey, you got one on the way. We're sending you another one.
Nice. That's the big deal for me is like customer service. Your product has to be good, and your customer service has to be better.
Like, I mean, I literally didn't even have to send a picture or anything. And I was like, man, I even complimented them on their customer service. I was like, man, this is phenomenal. You don't see this every day. And they were like, yeah, we're a really small family-owned company. We try to keep our name out there. We try to do right by everybody. I mean,
Cool.
that really impressed me, But I just happened to score a free Aldi griddle from Mr. Hines, So.
Let's hear the story. What's the story behind this? I mean, did you just walk in his garage and he's like, I'm fed up with this. Here, take it.
No, so I've got a 17-inch Blackstone in there in that dumpster somewhere. He brought his trailer over to here, and I know he'd been looking for one. And when there was a post about the Aldi griddles that dropped to $35, I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
Well, it was. What am I going to do with it? He showed up with his trailer. He's like, I need to get a griddle. I'm like, here, take this one. So,
How's it working out for you, Justin? You like it?
Man, that's still in the box. I literally brought my trailer over there on Monday. Had to rework the garage to get it to fit on Tuesday, and left to go on the boat on Wednesday. So,
Yeah. What about you, Dalton and Dick? What do you boys cook on?
We got the Aldi's grill. Like we were just
Nice.
talking about that. So
You like it?
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, cool.
It's amazing. But we use that. we got pretty much two devices. We got the Aldi's griddle, and then we've got, using the same little propane tanks or propane connection on a bigger tank, a little camp stove that we use for like heating dishwater, making hot water for coffee, or if you put a little pot on there if you're going to make like rice, something like that. But it folds down, it's nice and compact, and then like for me, obviously I can't take the griddle on the motorcycle, but the little camp grill with the propane, I can take that and I can put that on the bike and take that with me on the bike to make coffee and do all the same things.
What bike you going? You have like a dual sport, or is it a like a cruiser?
No, I've got a Yamaha Super Tenere. It's like an adventure bike basically, but I actually just bought that. I had like a naked bike pretty much for the past 3 years, and I just recently bought this adventure bike.
Oh, that's cool. That adventure bike is kind of like a dual sport.
Pretty
Kinda
much, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a heavy dual sport.
Yeah,
Like 600 pounds.
I've done when I've gone to Montana. They used to have a rental place up there that would rent the KLX 650.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. But you couldn't pack very much on those things.
Yeah, that's really from doing motorcycles for so long and then coming to a vehicle. Like vehicle's almost like a luxury. You have so much room, you can bring so much stuff, but you really learn on the motorcycle, like kind of. And I think Benji, we sort of mentioned this on the group the other day about like being close to Walmarts and stuff like that. When you're on a bike, you realize that what you really need and don't need, and how you can kind of stop and grab, what you need if you need it.
Brilliant. Fellers, let's talk about something else completely random. What's some advice whenever you're planning a trip that you would give to someone? It could be destination, it could be routes, it could be camping coordinates, it could be anything. Shower houses on the side of the road, anything.
Routes.
How do you plan that?
Definitely plan out your routes. I mean, you don't want to because I know when I went I went and met Richard and Sharon, some friends of mine from Tennessee, some friends of Jonathan's too, that they were up in Georgia on the Georgia Traverse for New Year's, and we went up there and we were just kind of following the Georgia Traverse off of Gaia, and we literally ran into like 3 closed sections, so we were having to backtrack a lot. So I would, I know when I go on this trip to Big Iron, I have like 12 days before rendezvous that I'm gonna be able to go explore some different places. I found a deal on the Trans-American Trail. I'm gonna try and do some of the stuff in Arkansas with that on my way back down to Rito. But I'll always have an alternate. You don't want to have to be sitting there on the side of the road for 5 or 10, 15 minutes trying to figure out which way you're going to go next to connect to the other side,
Yeah, true that.
I agree with him on that, on the routes. If you're going on a longer trip like that, it's important to know your surroundings. Know what you're up against, know the weather. I've typically got into a lot of groups wherever we're going, and reaching out with questions, this, that, and the other. The Overland USA page, it doesn't really get you much of anything when you're on the fly like that. But when you get into like the San Juan Mountains and stuff, they've got specific groups out there that, you could ask where you could blow your nose and they would be on it within 10 seconds. Budget Overland's good about that. This group's so scattered all over the place, all over the country, that there's somebody that's familiar with any of the areas that you're going. From there, I've followed a few of the influencers and YouTubers or whatever that have tracks, and saving everything offline has been key to making sure you don't get stuck on the side of the road hunting for service just to find out where your destination is.
I think a lot of people forget to pre-download the area, especially like for Gaia and stuff. You can download the whole Earth if you have the data, but you could download that stuff so whenever you're offline in the middle of nowhere, you can at least see where the next town or route or whatever is. So that's a good point.
Yeah, downloading the maps is like super critical. Like we went up to the UP this past summer, and I mean we had no service for hours at a time, and you're not really far from anything, but it feels like you are because you know if you can't look on your phone and see where the next gas station is at, and you've got 50 miles of gas left, you know you feel like you have no idea. You know you feel kind of lost. So downloading the map is super important for sure.
Yeah, I also agree on the routes. I mean, it's like you said on the gas. I feel like gas is very important because you don't get stranded in the middle of nowhere. That would be bad. But safety wise, I mean, just knowing where your nearest hospital is or emergency room is a big thing to me. It's like, cause I've heard stories of people overlanding where they've getting bit by snakes or spiders, and they just weren't close enough to an emergency room, and they lost a limb or almost lost a life. So that's a big thing for me is being able to see like where my nearest escape route is or closest route to get an emergency room. So if I'm on a trail of friends or I meet someone that needs help, I can do what I can with what I have in my vehicle and then get them to a hospital to either help them the best they can or survive or whatever is needed.
It's good stuff. Guys, we're coming close, I think, to 40 minutes. I don't even know. This has been a heck of a week, man, for the podcast. But what do you guys? What's like something I'm missing? Somebody else take the mic here. Somebody else lead. What do you guys want to talk about?
I have a question since I'm new to all this. So I'm still getting to this. So I'm doing a trail the 2 weeks after the rendezvous, the high water mark trail through the Ozarks.
Okay.
And I was on the website that maps it out to how the routes and all that. I noticed they have the Gaia GPS and they have Onyx. And I see a lot of mixed opinions about them. So what do you guys think was best for like downloading terrains to figure out, or what app's easier, more user friendly and stuff like that?
Jonathan has his hands up.
Right. So no, I've been through all this, and Dalton, that's a great question because you've got people that are very, very religiously tied to one or the other, and vice versa. Okay, I really like Gaia. I really like the way that Gaia allows me to find somebody's GPX file, download it, transfer it in, and it automatically goes against all my devices that I use. All right. With that being said, if I'm planning a route, if I'm planning a trip, I'm going to go towards Gaia. However, OnX has the ability to pull up your current location and give you all of these trails. So you're not going to be trying to find the track that you downloaded in this one area you think that's over here and go and search for it. OnX gives you the ability to, like I said, just open up the app. If you've got service, open up the app and it'll tell you everything around you. You know, you can click on the icons. It'll show you campsites. It'll show you different trails, routes, that kind of stuff. But it goes into detail and it tells you, you know, if it's been rated, it's going to provide that information for you. But as far as my personal planning, I do like Gaia, like I said, for the reason that I can download those maps. I know where I'm kind of focused in on. It's not as it's a little more simplistic when you're looking at it, but the layers also offer very
The layers
very,
are cool. Yeah.
very deep.
Yeah, I saw that with Gaia. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards is the fact that they have the settings where you see private and public land. Because especially where I'm at, I'm near where the rendezvous is, so I'm down in that area. There's a lot of private land, like farmers who don't want you in their land or law, or roads that cut into the land that they don't want you on. So that's like a key, very helpful thing.
As long as you know your rights, and if it's like if you're going from national forest to national forest and there's a spread of land that's privately owned, if there's a road that goes through that's legal, that is legal. So you need to educate yourself on that. And if some Joe Blow farmer comes after you, you know, just be respectful and be like, hey, man, I'm just on my way over here. I'll be out of here in a minute.
So to speak to that point, Benji, that literally happened to us. There were 5 rigs going from Louisiana. We were headed towards Hurricane, as far as we could get to it, right? So we ended up, it was Tecumseh, New Mexico, I think. We stopped, and I pulled up Gaia. I found, you know, the public roads, the high clearance vehicle roads, and I found a spot that looked like we could go camp there. And it was just after dark, so we're going down this county road. We get to where we're going. We send one buddy up who's got a 4Runner just to check to see if there's an area before we cut back off on this trail that's marked on Gaia, right? And I'm second in line. There's 3 rigs behind me, and all of a sudden I hear over the radio, "Jonathan, get back here. There's a gun." And I look back, and there's another vehicle. So he's like, "Bring your maps. I don't know what's going on." So I grab my tablet. I walk back there, and it's this guy's mad as can be. His little wife's standing there with a sawed-off 410 on her shoulder, right? Start talking to him. He's mad as can be. I was like, "Well, sir, this says this is county road, blah, 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 whatever." He goes, and he immediately changed.
Yeah.
We got posted signs back there. I was like, "Well, this is a county road. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not trying to cause any issues, and I apologize." And the whole situation turned out that he gave us a spot on his private land that we were able to camp on that night up on a ridge, which was great.
Oh, yeah.
But to your point, you have to know what the markings are. You have to know your rights, like you said, and just be respectful of those people because they've been there for generations.
Exactly. And especially with the uptick with the overland world, the volume of travelers are probably tenfold, even in the last 5 years is what they typically were. And they're just, these older people, probably older people, are just like, "Oh, this has never been like this," and they get real defensive. But if anything does escalate, is it worth your life? No. Just don't argue. Just leave. But yeah, that's good stuff, man. Especially purple paint. I've been on trails down the Ozarks where people plaster purple paint up everywhere, and that just means no trespassing. It means private property. And those are trails. Those are Forest Service roads that you're supposed to go down to get through their land. So fine lines.
Yeah, and with that, if you do come across gates and things like that, you can always take the GPS coordinates of where that's at, where the confrontation was, pictures of what you encountered, and bring it to the actual ranger district for that. And there's a lot of times that they'll take care of that for you. I mean, people, like you said, they just don't want a lot of people with the uptick riding through there. I mean, I forget what site it was on. A while back, they had a gas station in Arkansas that I think it may have been Caleb Baker with Baker Overland. People were complaining, "Oh man, all these people, ever since it got on YouTube and they put these trails on here, everybody keeps coming through there." And it was like, he's like, I'm a local, Yeah. I mean, I get that they don't like all these trails being publicized and everything like that, but I mean, when it comes down to it, even as minuscule as it is, but I mean, we're all paying our fair share to use these national forest lands.
For now.
So, I mean, everybody has a right to use these things. I mean, it's not just you live in Louisiana, you can only use the national forest in Louisiana. I mean, that's not how this works. But I mean, on that same token, you get these idiots on side-by-sides that go through there 90 miles an hour, dust kicking everywhere. I mean, you see, like Jonathan and I were up in Rendezvous last time, or in Arkansas when we were exploring before. Man, we saw a house. We slowed down. You don't want to go by at 20 miles an hour kicking up dust. I mean, they got to, I mean, I'm sure they're tired of washing their cars and all that stuff. I mean, it's being respectful is all it comes down to. Now, you're going to have those fools that, it's private land, whatever, and just drive off, and they're putting a bad taste in these people's mouth, and so the next time they see a group, they're going to think they have the same attitude as these other people.
Exactly.
You're going to end up paying the price for that other fool that just went through there,
Exactly.
So
that's. Go ahead.
I was going to say we use pretty much Gaia and Google Maps or Google Earth. I did try Onyx, and although I've heard other people have better experiences, what I found was like in Michigan, even lower Michigan, upper Michigan, I think it's maybe because the laws in Michigan, like how the OHV trails are legally used, I found a lot of the trails were incorrectly labeled on Onyx, and it would say that it was, for high clearance vehicles, and then it was only an ATV trail, and it's frustrating when you're out trying to travel somewhere and you get to a trailhead or something, and it's not what you thought, and then you gotta, whatever. So Gaia has obviously the U.S. Forest Service layers, which then you know for sure if you're on a legal road. It makes it easy to know if you're on a legal road. But I would assume in other places, OnX probably works better. Just in Michigan, it didn't work very good for us.
Yeah, so I recently encountered a issue. Me and my buddy, we were in my Jeep trying to go on some just county roads at one of the national forests, and we came on one. It was a county road. It said county road and everything, but at the very end of that county road, it came to a house that was on the edge of a national forest, but you could still see the house, or the road kept going past the house. So in that particular situation, try to be respectful, and I don't know the area or know who the people, so I just backed up and left. But I've always wondered, like, do I have the right to keep going? Is that their land? Is it, since it's a county road that goes into a national forest, or is that my right to drive it on that road still when it gets to their house?
So you can. I don't know. A lot of people probably don't know this because we run into this a lot in Illinois too. There's roads that, according to Google Maps or whatever, is like a county road, but it seemingly runs through a cornfield or seems like the road is gone now. And you can actually go whatever county you're in. You can go to the county's website and you can actually download um, a map from the county. Sometimes they're interactive maps, but that is what the county uses to determine like what roads they need to maintain and how. Like whether it's asphalt, whether it's like a low maintenance road, gravel. And if it's no longer like a county road, then that road will obviously end on their map. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
indicated on their map that it's a county road, then obviously it's legal because you've got current proof with the county that the county is claiming, that road property is theirs. So that's a good way to get around that and determine if you're, because like I said, you don't want to be breaking laws and making people mad. So
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to disturb people. I say, especially as I sure if you guys been to Arkansas where Mulberry is and Mill Creek, there's a lot of ATVs and side by sides and stuff. So there's a lot of trespassing done down here where I'm at. So my big thing is I want to be respectful to the land and I want to be respectful to the people because if I was in their shoes, I would, if I met someone that's being really nice, respectful, and not kicking up a lot of dust, I'd be a little more lenient and talk to them versus, you see these ATVs or side by sides that fly down these dirt roads that mock Jesus. It just kind of scares me because I don't want to get to that one guy where an side by side just went down before me flying past their house and I come up and he thinks I'm the same way when I'm not. I'm trying to be respectful.
That's all you can do, man, is be respectful and always imagine everyone's packing heat. So if it's worth your life, throw a fit. If it's not, play it safe.
Hmm.
Guys, we're coming close to probably 8 hours, according to my clock. I've only done this for 10 minutes, so let's I don't know. Let's wrap it up. Let's see how this thing goes. I don't know. We might just we might have tanked this whole episode. I hope not. There's been some good stuff in here. I missed some, but anybody want to share how to get a hold of them? Just say your name and your handles, and then just kind of go around.
Hey, Benji, I'm showing 53 minutes and 30 seconds on my timer over here.
Well, you're the new host of Budget Overland Podcast.
Hey.
That's how that works. It's like the Santa Claus movie. When you push Santa off the roof, he dies. He hands you the card. I'm dead.
Hey,
You're the new Benji.
Look, Benji, just because I've started to notice a little more white in my beard, you don't have to call me Santa Claus, okay?
That's exactly where I was going
I'm
with
a
it.
little pudgy, but I mean,
I don't
come
think
on,
that's the only reason,
I,
Justin.
I still have a little bit, but no, ever since I got this trailer, I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to jump into a YouTube. I don't think so yet, but it's kind of messing around on Instagram. And I was like, let me create a little Instagram for this trailer and see if I can get some followers. Just document the adventures of it. For later on down the road, in case I happen to lose my phone, I'll always have something I can log into. But it's kind of a little play on words. I did Camp S'more Places. It's Camp CAMP _ SMORE _ places on Instagram.
We're all over here thinking, are we educated enough to figure out what he's spelling?
Hey, man, I know,
Oh, something's not lining up here, guys. I went to school for 18,000 years.
there's always going to be, hey, what did that couillon from Louisiana say? I couldn't
I
understand
like it. I like it. Dalton, you got any handles you want to plug?
So me and my friend have recently created a YouTube channel, so there's not much on it, but it's called The Adventures of Delta and Bravo.
Nice.
And I say we're just trying to get it started. Hopefully make a career out of it would be the end goal, obviously, but high hopes.
You could do anything you put your mind to. That's what I was told in school. I'm still waiting for my $1 million check, but it ain't here yet.
Hey, you can ride
I
it.
can have fun.
You can ride
That's right. Oh, that's funny. Dick, how can people follow your travels and adventures?
Just on the Budget Overland group on Facebook is where I post stuff. I had a YouTube for a long time and Instagram, and I pulled back from all that. I don't post anything. I don't even log into that stuff anymore. I like just going to the Budget Overland group on Facebook, sharing whatever I go and do, and that's it.
Sweet. Love it. Jonathan?
Yeah, I got an Instagram. It's JHINES621. That's it.
_hot
That's it.
dogs. _ marshmallow man. All right,
Yeah,
you guys
you
are.
can see my bruiser of a kid on there too.
He's your retirement, son. He's your retirement.
He is.
That's awesome. Guys, I appreciate you coming on the show, but I wanted to say one last thing about Rendezvous in the Ozarks real quick, and I don't want to hijack what they've got going on because there's trails that you guys can sign up for and take with the Natural State Overland crew. But would you guys think it would be fun to have some budget overland trails or, what I'm saying, trail rides, I guess?
Yeah. I'd definitely
That'd be awesome.
So what I'm going to get at now is probably ask about 10 people to be trail leaders and then have groups no greater than like 6 to 8 rigs. And then we'll schedule times to where, it's a good meet and greet for people. And I just wanted to ask you guys live on the air, I guess, and then we'll get some feedback from other listeners and then kind of go from there. I think it'd be really fun.
I think that's a good idea.
I definitely would be interested in that. Definitely sounds like a good idea.
Cool. So Dalton just signed up to be a leader for one of them.
Okay.
Bueller.
All right, guys. No, I think that's fine. So cool. I don't even know, guys. I don't even know anymore. Last week's episode was controversial. I've had 2 episodes this week, and I don't want to say today sucked. It was just I lost internet for some reason. But I truly appreciate you guys coming on and pulling this one out of the hat. So
I think it came out pretty good, man. We had some good topics of discussion,
I think so too.
Yeah, we didn't skip a beat without you because Justin was here.
Well, because he's the new podcast host. It's in him already. I lost the gift of hosting. It's all him.
I don't know about that, Benji.
No, there's only one Benji, and one Benji there shall be. Guys, I got to get off here. My kids are in the hot tub, so I'm going to go join them.
Sounds like a plan.
Until next time, like, subscribe, and share with a fellow friend. Go check out all these guys' fantastic Instagrams, YouTube, all that jazz. And then check out Dick Chavez. Sorry, bro. Check out his post on Budget Overland because that's where he posts stuff, and I appreciate that. Gosh, guys. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Till next time, I'll see you back here on Monday for Overland Shenanigans. Bye-bye. Now, Justin, you're going to have to hit stop here because you're in charge.
Oh, all right. Now, where's the stop button?
I don't know. Somebody's run the ship. I don't know.
This better be on the podcast.
The only thing I
know.
The only thing
Somebody's
I see
got
is
to stop.
a red deal for I guess
Stop
the
recording because you're
Well,
in charge.
you're going to see this. I'm either going to disappear. It's going to record. Bye bye.
What happened?
No one knows.
Jonathan, are you there? All right, guys. So just
here.
hit the red button. Peace out, Girl
Alrighty.
Scouts.
You guys have a good night.
Later.